Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today on working from home with Microsoft Teams. I'm Danielle Chapman. I work in the marketing team here at Bytes, and today I'm joined by Sad Rafiq, Cloud Solutions Specialist, and Peter Reilly, Data Center Specialist, who will be presenting the webinar. Okay, so I'm now just going to pass you over to Saj.
Hello everyone, it's Sad Rafiq here. Thank you for that, Daniel. Hopefully everyone can see my screen. I'm going to talk Teams. Don't have time to talk about Office 365 in an hour, let alone half an hour. So really we're going to concentrate on Teams. What we want to do is talk about productive. So for those who don't know who Bytes are, we're we're a licensing specialist. We have sold over 2 million seats of Office 365. We have a huge SAM team as well as third-party vendor team, which Peter will talk about a little bit later on, one of my colleagues. So what I want you to get from this slide is just to say, look, yes, we do the licensing, but we do a whole lot more. We do the SAM intelligence licensing piece. We also do cloud services, whether that be AWS, Azure, or Office 365. We do all those cloud services. But this is not about Bytes altogether. I'm going to talk about Teams. I'm going to show you this slide only because at the end of this presentation you will all get a copy of this slide, and I think this is a really nice slide to have in your folder. It tells how the different generations work. Okay, and this is a broad brushstroke. Do not take this literally, but you'll see that everyone works differently and every generation works differently. So emails, as you can sort of see, is a very big hit with the baby boomers, but not so much with the Generation Z. What we're seeing a lot more is where things like team workspaces, persistent chat, and socialized networking is coming more into play. And hopefully we can show you how to use some of that technology within Teams. I am going to go straight into a demo because if you're anything like me, I hate huge PowerPoints. I'd rather see things in action and see how we can use Office 365. So I'm working from home. I think most of us, as soon as we open up our laptops, will probably go straight into Outlook. I think that's a fair assumption to make. Now, I know that there'll be a couple of you that says, no, Saj, I don't do that, and that's fair enough, but let's just take it as read that most of us go into Outlook. And from Outlook, we can create emails, of course we can, but we can also create meetings from the calendar side of things here. I can also create a team meeting from my Outlook. So I can just click on the quick bar at the top, click on that, and I can create a team meeting instantly. I can give it a title saying planning work from home, and I can say who I require into that meeting. Now, if you guys haven't done that, or you guys are saying to me, Saj, I don't see that icon in my Outlook, that's quite simple, because at the bottom left-hand corner, you'll see different workloads within Outlook. You'll see emails, calendar, contacts, and tasks. And what you'll also see as I've changed from one workload to another is the ribbon at the top changing. So if I look at my emails, I've got one set of tool sets there. If I go into calendar, those tool sets in my ribbon change. And in there, I've got a tool called New Teams Meeting. Now, if I right-hand click on that, I can click on Add to Quick Access Toolbar. Now, it's grayed out because I've already got one, so let me just remove that. So now let me show you. I right-hand click, Add to Quick Access Toolbar. There we go. What that means is any tools I'll put up here, wherever I go into the workloads into my Outlook, those tools will always stay constant at the top. So yes, I can go into my Outlook calendar, and yes, I can double click in to a meeting and put it in from there. Or As I said, if I've just clicked into Outlook and I just want to create a meeting straight away, I can just go to the top left-hand corner, click in Teams meeting, and it will create that automatically. The other way I can do it is if I have let's say I've got a email from a guy called Sajid Rafiq at Bytes, and he sent me something and I want to create a meeting regarding that. I can just drag that email straight to the calendar, release, and then I can just click on team meeting and it's put all the information there for me for the team meeting, and the email or the agenda on the email is there as well. So, and it's given me the email title as the subject as the title for this meeting, so the person knows what it's about. So I'm not sure if you guys were aware of that, but that's one way of doing that. So let's go to the top. Let's create a team meeting, and you'll see when I create a meeting, I'll say join Microsoft Team meeting there. Underneath that, if we've got the conference package, it also gives me the ability to create ability to allow people into the meeting via telephone. So again, if you haven't got that functionality, and even if the people do not have Teams themselves, they'll just click onto that URL link and that will open it up in the browser. As simple as that. So let's call this title working from home planning, and I'm going to add a few people in there, Adele, and I'm just going to join that team meeting on the off. First thing you'll see is me. Hello everyone, and it will give me the ability to say, well, do I want my camera switched off or switched on, the microphone, etc., etc. If I've joined a team meeting where there's already people in that meeting and I'm slightly late, the mic will automatically be switched off for you, just as a courtesy to not to interrupt people, so to speak. I always think it's a good idea to have the camera switched on. I know a lot of people don't like this, but when you are working from home and you feel disconnected, there's nothing better than having the camera switched on and seeing everyone's faces. And you get to read people a lot better that way. I am going to switch off the video because obviously it's interrupting with the sound. I don't know why that is, always technical issues, but you can sort of see straight away, you can sort of see people and I can blur the background. The other thing I can do if I wanted to is click at see who's in the meeting, and if I wanted to invite other people to the meeting, I can by clicking their details. I'm also going to show you, if you bear with me one moment, how I can invite someone in on their mobile phone. Hopefully you could all see my mobile phone now. And I'm just going to switch mobile phone off. And I'm going to invite Adele to the meeting. What you should see is the mobile phone start ringing up. And I'll answer that. And you can sort of see Adele is now straight into that meeting with me. As simple as that. And if I wanted to, I can also share a PowerPoint presentation with Adele. So if I click onto that, take that out, show you my phone, you should see I've got a notification that he wants to share a PowerPoint with me. Click on that, and you can also see the PowerPoint being shared with me on my mobile phone. So you can see that. And if I wanted to, from my mobile phone, I can take control of that PowerPoint. So I can sort of say, yes, I want to take control. And then I can move that PowerPoint if I wish. So you can see how simple that is. So I may be wanting to talk to someone who's actually not at home, maybe out and about. It's as simple as that. Just invite that person in and we can bring that straight in. So I'm going to stop presenting now and I'm going to take that down. So you can sort of see straight away as a presenter in Teams, we can share the desktop, a particular window, or a particular application if we wanted to do that. And adding people was quite simple. Just show participant and say, who do I want to add into this meeting? As simple as that. If I also wanted to, I could record the session. So I can just click on the record. It will let everyone know at the top that I've recorded this session. Brilliant. And it will take the recording, and I can stop that recording straight away. Stop. And I will hang that up. And straight away, that's come and stopped. What you'll see is now created a group for that meeting, okay? And that recording is put into that group, okay? So everyone who was at that meeting can have access to that as well. You'll also see I've got 2 attendees for that meeting. It was myself and Adele. But if I wanted to add a third person to that meeting, say after this conversation and after this chat, we wanted to add Alex, we can add Alex. But if you look carefully, it says, don't include chat history, include history from past number of days, or include all chat history. So if me and Adele have been having a conversation, we've been talking about working from home, and then we feel that actually we need to bring Alex in, but we don't want him to know what we've been saying for the last 2 or 3 days, we could just include him in. I'm going to say include all chat history, and I'm going to invite Alex Wilbur into this call. And that's added him straight into that conversation. So you can sort of see how easy that was. If we go back into Teams, and that brings us into Teams generally. If we look at Teams generally, I will say this, if you guys ever get stuck, at the bottom left-hand corner is an icon called Help. If you click on that and then go to What's New or Browse Topics, it has got all the training videos that you need on how to use Teams. So after this conversation or after this webinar, if you want to go and play and sort of say, actually, I just want to know how to create something, all the videos that you need are there. And I'll show some more resources at the end of this presentation. So let's get back to our chat. Let's go back to that chat we had. So remember the recording that we had? If I click on that, you'll see that recording is put into there straight away. If I wanted to open it up into Stream, okay, all recordings in Teams are kept into Stream, okay, and this isn't a session on Stream, but I just want to show you this one functionality. You'll see that presentation, okay, it hasn't transcripted that. I'll look at another one that it does. It will transcript all the videos that we put up there. So if here's one that I did earlier, you can sort of see all the video is automatically transcripted if my organization has allowed me to do that. Okay, so that's quite nice. So when you do a recording, you don't always have to take meeting notes. That's all automatically done for you, which I quite like. Let's go back to Teams. Okay, and let's go through this. Left-hand side is the panel of all the applications I can do Teams. Teams, in a simple way, is a hub, and it allows you to integrate all the different workloads within Office 365. It allows you to create a team area and then say what applications does that team need to do to be productive. Okay, what communication and collaboration applications does that team need? And we can talk about that in a bit more detail in a moment. So if we go into Teams now, you can sort of create a team called COVID-19. We've got a channel called General, and this is where everyone can have a conversation here now about this COVID-19. So we've created a special team just for this scenario. And we can sort of say, actually, people can start saying hello and putting their information into here. Now, if I also look at my mobile phone, you can sort of see, actually, if I go into General, I can type in how are you on my mobile phone, and that will go straight to the chat channel as well. So again, I'm being productive. Again, I'm being inclusive with everyone. So if I'm not on a laptop, I can be on a mobile phone. The nice thing about the mobile phone here is you put icon icon, say microphone icon. So if I just press that dash, start recordings, and now I can appear. So time to type things in on my mobile phone while I'm walking, I can just talk straight in and they put that recording straight in there. Okay. The other thing that I quite like on the mobile phone app, if you look on the mobile phone, if you go to new message and go to the 3 little dots, also show you your location. So if I click on the location, show you where I'm sitting by GPS, that actually I can send that mission to the entire team as well. It's keeping me informed and keeping everyone knowing where I am. The other thing I can do within Teams now is if I wanted to start a conversation like I just have done, I could also click on the conversation box, and in here I can also create a notification or an announcement. So if I create an announcement, this is something I can make something so bold, so I can say COVID -19 news. And I might want to change the color of that banner, so I might just want to make it red, and I may just want to upload a picture quickly. Pictures, there you go. Done. And then I can type a subheading, urgent, and I can send this to the entire team. Now, if I want to send it to one particular person and want to notify them, I can just go the @ symbol. And if I send it to @Alex, okay, he will be getting a notification. The rest of the team won't. The rest of the team will be able to see it in the team channel, but Alex will get a notification. Or I can send a notification to the entire team by just saying @team. I can also say who can reply to this and who cannot. Okay, so there's some news articles that you might want to add into your team channel that you don't want everyone to reply to. That can be done by there. And if I feel that this article or this information is really important, I can actually put it into multiple channels, or multiple teams can get this information all at the same time. I don't need to go into all the different teams. Okay, so I can just say, well, actually, the digital Contoso, the retail team, they all need to know about this as well. So I'm going to put this in there as well. Now we can create sub channels as well, so we can break the team up to smaller parts. So for example, if we've got a team for COVID-19, everything that we need to know about can be put into this main general channel. But if we've got a training team and the IT team to help remote workers, they may not want to know the same information. They may need to just know information that's relevant to them. So we can break this into sub channels and say, right, okay, we've got a COVID-19 change management team and we've got a COVID-19 IT team. Anything that's generic will be put at the top. Anything for the IT team will be put into those channels specifically for those people. And I've got a senior leadership team, but you'll notice next to the senior leadership team, I've got a little padlock, which means I've locked that team down. So only the senior leaderships can go into that channel. But as far as COVID-19 goes, all the information and everything that they need to know is in one single place. And there may be, if you look at general, if you look at the top in the tabs here, I've got all the posts. So all the chat is put into here, all the files are put into here, okay? And if I wanted to, I could click onto certain websites. So we know the BBC is a really good website to be keeping on top of, BBC. If I go to my URL, go to the COVID-19 BBC website, copy, paste that into my team here. And what you'll find is the entire web page is now in there. So as far as my team regards to COVID-19, I can say, look, actually everything you need to do your work and be productive is in one place. I've even put the appropriate websites that we're keeping up-to-date information on. It's all put there. And when you're click on the plus sign, you'll see there's a whole plethora of tools for me to use: Planner, Power BI, Stream, as well as third parties. And I'm not going to go through all the third party tools here or any of that. One of the things that we have decided to do because of what's happening at the moment, we are going to do regular webinars now. We are going to do webinars on a weekly basis. So if there's a particular subject, let us know. But what we'll do is cover these in smaller sound bites, in smaller chunks. Otherwise, we could be here all afternoon just talking about certain functionalities. Okay, so you can sort of see the tab is there. If I wanted to, I can also upload, just bear with me while I just let that off. I can upload a file into here, and I can upload a file to the entire team. So upload from my computer, and I can say, there's my documents. I'm going to do presentation for, actually, I think I've already done that, but presentation for the whole team. It's put it up there. Bear with me. And as it's put it up there, if we look in files, it's put it in there at the same time. Okay, a few seconds ago, it's uploaded that. So again, if I want to share files with the whole team, okay, I can upload it. You can also go into the tab up here where it says files and just go to upload there as well. If I bring my mobile phone again, and just bear with me, I'll just connect my mobile phone to up in the top left-hand corner, drives. Click on OneDrive, I can see all the files from all the different teams that I belong to. So if there's a team called COVID-19 and I can't find it, I can just type in COVID-19. There's the team. There's the documents. And if I click on general, so that was the channel I was, there's the folder there. So again, for my app, if I need to, for my phone, if I need to access a document, I can do that very, very simply. And if I come out of that. Now, the other thing I will show you also is the thing with persistent chat is if I go into design, into this channel, you can sort of see there's a lot of different chats. And I may be working for people around the world. In there, if I click on the three dots, you'll see I've got a translate button. So it will translate anything for me. So that was into Chinese. I've just translated that into English. And if I want to translate it back again, I can if I wanted to. The other thing it allows me to do is if I have, say, this piece of, I want to read that, but my eyesight is not so good. I have got an immersive reader built into Teams now. So what I can do is click on the immersive reader. It will bring everything out for me, and it will also speak to me as well. So it will read that out to me. If I wanted to, and I've got dyslexia, I can change the color of the background if that helps. So pastel colors are shown to or believed to help with dyslexia. So we can bring that out again. So again, I can change the language. I can do content that can read out to me. But more importantly, if we're working from home and lots of people are sending us lots of messages on chat, you may sort of say, oh, this is important, but I haven't got time to read this article right now. What you can do is click on the three dots in the top right-hand corner, okay, and just mark that as save this message. And if you save the message, and the top right-hand corner, if you click on your face and just click on saved, it will show you all the saved messages you've done. There you go. So at a later time, back and read those saved messages. I don't need to go back and try to find where those saved messages are. Hopefully that all makes sense. I'll untick those to say I've read those saved messages. So Teams is very simple. I just go to the bottom left-hand corner, create my team if I'm allowed to, and once I'm in there, I can add whoever I need to add into that team, and from there we can communicate and collaborate. All the files or the appropriate workloads, the data can be all put into one place. So when it comes to something like, oh, actually this is a COVID-19 issue, we can go straight to the team, say, right, it's general, I'm going to let everyone know about this straight away. And that's independent whether I'm on my mobile phone, on my tablet, or my PC, does not matter. It means I have access to all of that. Now on the left-hand side, I can also do things like, if I go into the top, actually search, I can start searching for things. So if I'm searching for marketing, I can type in marketing. If I could spell marketing, it would help. Bear with me, marketing. And it will come back with all the people that I have mentioned the word marketing, all the people that may be working in marketing, and all the files that have contain the word marketing in them. So I can look at all of those. But if I also want to search for someone and I want to search for Adele, I can just type in Adele, okay, and click on people, and it will tell me that Adele and Vance. And if I click on a name and click on organization, it will tell me where she sits and actually who manages her as well. So if you're searching for people, that's a great way of finding actually who are they and where do they sit. There is another functionality called the Who bot within in Teams. So it's a little chat bot. If you click on Who, and you can sort of type in here, who is Adele there. If I type that in, it will come back to me saying Adele is the retail manager, a bit more details, and I can say, well, who is Adele's manager? Click on that, and it will tell me who her manager is as well. And again, from there, I can click on the org chart. So again, it's a really simple way of me trying to find people. And if I go to the Who bots back and I want to find who knows about a particular subject, let's just continue with marketing. Who knows about marketing? It says 4 people know about marketing in Teams that you are a member of. So it puts it straight away. So it puts me in touch with other people who know about that subject. Okay, so the Who bot's quite nice. Files, that's where all my files are kept from Teams and from OneDrive. So if I want to have a look at that, I can do that. Calls. Now, Teams can plug into your telephony system. I'm not saying that you've done this, and I'm not going to go into this into too much details. We will talk about this later, definitely, at another webinar. But the functionality I like is you can send each other voicemails and voice over IP. So if everyone's working from home, everyone's got internet access, actually we can all call each other. And here, when I've sent someone a message and saved it on their voicemail, I get a transcript of that voicemail as well. So again, if I've got issues with hearing, I can actually just read what was said. What you need to do is say who you're trying to contact. Let's say Adele. It will just give me Adele's number, and I can just click on there, and I can do an audio or a video call straight to Adele. So it's really easy, again, to find somebody and to actually chat with people. Here, under chat, I can say I'm going to chat to Adele. Okay, so I'm going to I want to chat to Adele, and also I'm going to invite another person. I'm going to invite Alex in to that team, and there we go, and I've just added them. So if I do not have the ability to create a team, and in some cases you don't, I can just say, well, actually what I want to do is just chat to 2 of my colleagues, just informally, and just say hello. Once I've done that, what you'll be able to do is then name this team. So if I want to name this team, I don't know, friends in Oxford. I can click on that, and it's Friends of Oxford. So it's got me a reference of who I'm talking to and what that team's all about. Now, that was a generic one. You'd probably name it a lot better than I just have. But again, we can do that very, very simply. And when I send a message to people, I can send the message to everyone in there. Now, in this area, when I send a message to someone, bear with me one moment. I just want to show you my mobile phone again. Okay, let's take that off. When I send a message to someone, I can say how urgent that message is. So in here, I've got priority. So if I click on that, I can say this message is standard, or actually this message is quite important, or this message is urgent. Now, if I click on that and I send it to Adele, you should see on my mobile phone. Oops, no, urgent. Urgent. And so that will notify me every 2 minutes for 20 minutes. This has come from the NHS saying that we need to get hold of people urgently. So it can still be used in generic sectors, can still use this, but that's where it came from. And I quite like that functionality. However, do not abuse it, is what I would say to that. But I quite like that. The other thing you can do quite easily, if in a team or whatever, is we can praise people. So if you've got somebody who's done a really fantastic job in your team and you want to praise them, so it's very easy to criticize, and we spend a lot of time criticizing each other. It's sometimes nice to know that someone's done some fantastic work, and actually we just want to let the whole team know what they're doing. Okay. Bottom left-hand corner, as I said, there's the help button that gives you all the help videos. I'm conscious of the time. What I will also do is Microsoft have made a commitment to organizations worldwide, and what they've said is right now, because of COVID-19, they are going to allow a trial of Teams or Office 365 E1. So please speak to your account manager. If you do not have Teams or Office 365 E1, they're going to give you a 6-month trial for 1,000 users. Okay, so if you don't have that, here's the link for that, and I'm going to send all these links to you. For those that want to learn more about Teams, there's a learning path that Microsoft have done, a web page where you can learn about all the Microsoft 365 fundamentals. It's a bit technical. This is more for the technical side of things if you want to know more in depth. For the more lighter hearted side of things, there's a YouTube page that I go to called Coffee in the Cloud. That's a really to go to for a quick start on Teams. There's a lot of videos, short videos, about 10 to 15 minutes in length, talking about how to use Office 365. There is a website called Office 365 Basic Video Training, as well as Office Apps Help and Training. So here, if you're using Office 365 and you're thinking, what is Forms? How do I use Forms? Well, I should just go into there, click on Training, and it will tell you how to sign in and how to set up forms. So on the left-hand side, how to create a form, how to share a form, view the results, etc., etc. So all those resources are there for you to use. Okay, let's just go back to PowerPoint. And what I've done here is actually put all that down into a PowerPoint. So all those links are there for you. The other thing I will just talk about quickly is FastTrack. If you have purchased more than 150 licenses of Office 365 or Teams and you want help, Microsoft have allocated 20 to 25 partners in the UK to offer FastTrack advice and guidance, and we're lucky enough to be one of those 20 partners. So we can help you with planning, guidance and ideas, helping you with onboarding, access to best practices, and ensuring that you are ready for this. So if you've not had that, there is no charge for that facility. Okay, so all that is free of charge. So if you bought Office 365 or you bought Teams and you want some guidance and help on how to get it up and running and how to do change management, give us a call or contact your account manager, and we're more than happy to help you with that. The other thing I will sort of say is we've got a fantastic training team here, and with what's going on, we can also provide online training. And of course, there's a lot of learning management systems out there as well that we can guide you on best practices on using those as well. So again, if you've got any questions around that, contact your account manager. More than happy to help with that. The other thing I will say, we're going to do this on a weekly basis, and please on the feedback form tell me what you want to look more in depth in. Is it the mobility side? Is it a particular workload? And we're happy to cover that workload in more depth for you. But also we are offering our customers, if they've got a if they want to do a customer immersion experience, or they want to do a webinar with us for me to teach, well, not teach, that's the wrong word, for me to show how Teams could be used in their organization, or how Teams could be used to their staff, more than happy to do that. Again, contact your account manager to do that. Now I'm going to pass over to my colleague. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, Peter, but I'm going to pass over to you. And Peter's going to talk about how you can use our third-party products within remote working. Peter?
Okay, thanks, Saj. Hope you can all hear me. My name's Peter Ely. I'm the EUC practice lead at Bytes, and like everyone else, I'm having to remote work and finding the time at the moment incredibly difficult to continue working and meet expectations of my business. So you're not alone in that respect, and especially as you're not only potentially going to have the company of your home pets along with you, it's potentially going to be your children by the end of the week as well. So we just thought we'd offer some further advice around how to achieve success with remote working during this time, and not sort of do anything to really sort of be ambulance chasing, but really try and help you as best we can at this time when you need it the most. So we have a remote working essentials guide that if you're interested in receiving this guide, we'd be happy to send you a copy. The details in the guide highlight that for a successful remote working setup, the most important area is the communication aspect. Keeping the lines of communication open with your team members and staff is going to be absolutely key to any success of remote working. And that's why we've endeavoured to provide guidance around this afternoon with this Teams session. But one of the things that you may have noticed with Saj's presentation, it's interesting that it happened, was that there's sometimes performance issues. And that's something that we can certainly assist with. What we'd like to be able to do is sort of show you where we can perhaps help around any performance issues you're perhaps having in that area. Other areas that are really essential that are included in the guide highlight that staff performance measurement is important. So for us being in IT, to be able to provide the ability to measure staff performance can often come down to whether the infrastructure that they're using is up to scratch and whether you're able to provide that data access. So, you know, project and team management is going to be important, and that's something that Teams can certainly help with, but mainly the area of data access is key to this, and that's important for tracking progress and keeping on top of projects. Of course, security is always something that needs consideration, as with any other time when people are in a state of despair. There are always criminals that are lurking to try and confuse and catch people off guard. So securing data now is more important than ever. And that's an important factor. Securing your endpoints and making sure that there is no data leakage going on is going to be key at this critical time. Of course, remote desktops is something that is considered an essential capability for remote working. Being able to provide anywhere desktop access, whether that's using some kind of infrastructure solution or just some end-to-end secure connection over an encrypted network, that's something that is worth considering at this time. So we really see that there's 4 areas that we can help out with there, and these are the 4 things that we'd just like to highlight in which we can help you through this. If your end users are complaining of performance issues, or if they're using a remote session host that has performance issues, might be worth looking at optimizing the operating system, either for the end user or the server they're accessing as a session host. There's a free OS optimization tool we can provide, which helps prepare and optimize the Windows desktop and the server operating systems. It includes customizable templates to enable or disable Windows system services and features that are along with recommendations and best practices for either RDSH workloads or VDI workloads. But this equally can be used on endpoints to make them perform better. So since most Windows system services are enabled by default, the optimization tool can be used to easily disable unnecessary services and any features that are not being used or necessary for that user, and they can help improve performance and the end user experience. Even if you don't want to optimize the end user desktop, you can analyze it as part of a troubleshooting exercise, and this can even be done remotely using this tool. So get in touch if you want to get access to that tool. We can provide that for you free of charge. If you want secure drive access, if you're using Office 365 or network file storage, then we have a great utility that can help you adopt the cloud and give users remote access to these resources. The tool can map drives to OneDrive for Business, SharePoint Online. It integrates cloud storage into desktops, and it behaves just like network storage, both from the perspective of the user and the network administrator. So it's the only really truly enterprise-ready cloud drive mapping solution that works alongside single sign-on and identity management tools out there. And it includes the ability to be able to sync into those tools like ADFS, Azure, SSO, Okta, OneLogin, etc. So if you want to take access to do that, it's a 14-day trial that can be provided. I know it's not long, but what it does, it will get you enabled, and it can be used across any number of users, so there's no restriction on that. If you look into improve security with real-time over-the-air modern management across any device, including BYOD devices, there's a 90-day free trial that we can provide for Workspace ONE. This helps complete PC lifecycle management, but can also boost any productivity with secure single sign-on to SaaS applications, mobile applications, Windows applications, virtual apps, all through a single app catalog. What's good about this technology also is it includes a policy enforcer that can check and remediate restriction policies on a Windows 10 machine. So if a user were try to override configured policy settings by attempting to edit the Windows registry, for instance, this enforcer could compare the current value with the MDM configured value and reset the registry if the values differ. So no users would be able to get around any security that you've perhaps implemented as part of this methodology. And finally, if you want users to be able to access a device remotely, like a desktop PC or a server, if you want to be able to support your users effectively whilst you're remote, we can provide access via a secure connection to your company network wherever they are, whatever device. And there's a 30-day free trial that's available to get through this period. So let us know if any of those are challenges that you're having at the moment. If you want to talk to us about that, or you want access to any of those tools, we can certainly assist. Of course, there's a lot of interest that's going around about Microsoft Virtual Desktop and the service that they've currently got in place that's set up in Azure and is giving people good access to a very good remote desktop solution. Just to let you know that if you meet the criteria that is stated on this slide of a minimum of 300 users as a potential solution, VMware can provide up to $6,000 to pay for the Azure compute to support a pilot of Horizon Cloud on WVD. And they're also providing the Horizon licenses for 45 days to be able to do that. So if that's something you're interested in doing, also get in touch and we can get a VMware SE to go through that criteria with you. And lastly, we just wanted to kind of call this out. If you want information on any of what we've spoken about in this webinar, please get in touch, respond on the feedback forms. We're using this as a period. We're using this period rather as a way of trying to help our customers. So we really are pushing our vendors and partners for promotions to provide you with the assistance you need. So do get in touch with us, and there might be something else that's relative to what you need. We've got expertise within our business of some EUC experts that can go through in detail some of the areas of focus that customers are looking at. So we operate a free of charge advisory service that can help meet with any business strategies that you've been tasked with in EUC. And this is essentially independent advice that provides a full and detailed report that can help you with any demands you've got from your business. And of course, we're happy to help if you have any environments that need focus. So if you've got RDSH, XenApp, XenDesktop, or other VDI solutions that don't appear to be performing for your users and you're getting constant tickets raised as a result, then we can provide simple remote health check at a promotional price that might just be able to improve some of those issues you're seeing. Alternatively, we've got a technical guidance service where you can simply take 5 days of EUC consultancy and be used as and when you need it. So this would cover all areas of EUC that might be affecting you right now. So it's worth considering if there are challenges that you foresee or you're having at the moment. But do get in touch if any of that has been of interest to you or if you want us to help out in any way. Okay, back to you, Danielle.
Right, thank you, P. I'd now like to open it up to any questions. So if you do have any questions, just submit them in the questions box, which is just the right-hand side of your screen on the control panel. If you do have any questions and would prefer to submit them outside of the webinar, just email us on tellmemore@bytes.co.uk. So I'm just going to start by answering, we've had a few questions come in, so I'll just ask a couple now. Do you have to use Office 365 for your email to use Teams? Sorry, that's one for you, Saj.
Oh, hi, Peg. Thank you.
Sorry,
No, you don't. You don't need to have Office 365 or Exchange Online to use Teams. You can still have Exchange on-prem if you wish to use Teams. Teams does, I'm not going to lie, there are some functionalities. For example, I didn't show the calendar and a few other bits and pieces that work much better if you do use Exchange Online. So in Teams, you've got a calendar built into that does take it from Exchange Online and not from Exchange on-prem.
Brilliant, thank you. And does the facility to dial people into a meeting require you to have Teams telephony functionality configured?
It all depends. So if you're sort of saying, well, actually, I want to dial somebody else in, like I want to bring in Adele, for example, as long as that we've got Teams and it's all voice over IP, then the answer is no. If it's to the generic public, so if I need to do it on a public network and I need to connect to a PSTN line, then the answer is yes, you will need a connection to the outside world. But in general, if you've got E3, you can all talk to each other, you can all use the mobile app, and you're just doing it via the internet.
Okay, so a similar sort of a question that relates to this, someone has asked, I assume that Adele needs to have the Teams app on her phone for this to work. Can Adele be dialed in without the Teams app?
So the answer to that is yes, she does need to have the Team app if you've got E3. If you've got E5 or you've got the ability to connect to a PSTN network, then yes, she does. She can be dialed in if she wanted to do that.
Brilliant, thank you. So I think any other questions that have been asked we will take offline, and as I mentioned earlier, we will collate the questions and respond to all the attendees with any answers.
The only other thing I will say while we're on, a few people have asked me this week, and I've helped a few customers on, is Teams has a limitation of how many people you can have in a conference call, and that is 250. And that's fine for a lot of normal conference calls, but these are not normal circumstances we're in right now. And a lot of companies, about the 500, 600, have told their staff to go home and work from home, but they want to do a broadcast, a meeting once a week where they can let the staff know what's going on. Within Teams, you can do what they call live events. It used to be called broadcast, but it's called live event, and you can broadcast up to 10,000 people. Now, there may be network issues if everyone was in the office at the same time doing that. But if everyone's from home, that should be okay. I didn't show that in this session. I may show that in the next session, but I just thought it might be interesting. If you have got that functionality or that requirement, then give us a call. I'm more than happy to talk to you individually on how to set that up. It's very simple, but it means that on a weekly basis, on Monday morning, on a Friday afternoon, you can let your entire staff know they're all working from home, what's happening, what the company's doing, and it keeps them part of that company. Okay.
Brilliant, thank you, Saj. So thanks everyone for taking the time out of your day to join the webinar. I hope it was valuable to you. And if you do have any other questions, you can submit them in the survey at the end. So please do complete the feedback form at the end if you can. I'll send a link out to everybody this afternoon or tomorrow with the recording, sorry. Thanks again and enjoy the rest of your day.